Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Villains on the Rebirth server. We are with our Mastermind, Nightmare Lass, who's level 12 with 25,000 XP earned, 2,300 to go to get to level 13, 45 million infamy from our selling of powerful items that were sent to us by our alternate. And we are at the contact, the radio. This is one of my favorite contacts in the villain side of the game, who eventually gives you story arcs. I don't know if he does one from the very beginning. But one of the things I wanted to point out, because I did it quickly at the end of last episode, is some things are very different in City of Villains from City of Heroes. And one of the differences is after you get past Mercy Island, and I'd forgotten about this, you have to complete several missions for the broker and do a mayhem mission in order for the broker to give you new contacts. So you won't get any new contacts if you don't actually do some work for the broker. So we're going to do the radio, and then we'll go back to Drea the Hook, and we'll do some more newspaper missions, and we'll get another contact, and hopefully another story arc from him. But first, we're going to start with the radio. So this radio is right here on the car, and as we approach the radio, we briefly hear what sounds like another voice talking just under the sound of the music. We mess with the dial and try to tune it in better. And it says, "You're listening to the radio you were told about as it plays the top 40 hits from the mainland when a new announcer breaks into the middle of the song. You may not know what you're hearing. You may think you're going crazy. But man, oh man, even if you are crazy, it doesn't change the fact that you aren't really listening to the one true station for villain information. Radio free opportunity. That's right, we are radio free opportunity, home of the best information for villains with the right inclination. We have a special dedication going out right now to Nightmare Lass. According to our callers, those zealous misfits called the Lost have had their hands on a hot new mystery drug that's been causing quite an outbreak over in Paragon City. But what I want to know is, why should they get all the money? So, Nightmare Lass, if you're listening, if you were to steal the new drug from the Lost and deliver it to the drop-off points in Paragon City, that reward would be yours for the taking. Keep an eye out for the longbow. They may be waiting to crash the party. Now back to our regular programming with some forgettable artist no one will remember in a year." And the radio begins to play music again. So we're going to go ahead and steal the outbreak drug from the Lost. I don't think this is the beginning of the story arc yet, but this is going to be pretty cool. I really like the radio. I think normally I don't like it when they overdo the kind of, shall we say, stylistic writing for the dialogue, but I think they do a very good job with the radio. So we're going to go here, and this will, I guess, lead us to Paragon City. Oh, we're in a sewer. Alright. Let's bring out our little babies. And their big brother. That is so cool. He's this huge pit of flame underneath him and everything. It's awesome. I'm really, really enjoying the demon summoning. I thought I saw some Lost over here. Oh, they're on a patrol. Man, just the speed with which these guys crush the opposition is incredible. So we're doing really well already. And it'll be even better when we have enhanced our lieutenant level minion and when we have additional minions. And eventually you have a total of 6. 3 minion level minions, 3 minion level henchmen, I guess. You will have 2 lieutenant levels and a boss level. and they are going to be super awesome. And my job is going to be to keep them healed. Hopefully these guys will navigate this little bit of a maze here pretty well. Are they coming? Yeah, they're doing alright. And there's some lost. I mean, look how fast that yellow con goes down. Just crushed. Let's give Mo some hit points. So one of the things a lot of people who are healers do is they just control click this AoE thing so that it goes off constantly. I may eventually decide to do that, but for right now I don't feel like that's necessary. Oh, I'm not watching. And that was foolish. I missed this guy over here. So that's alright, we'll just resummon the demons. And then we just need to rebuff them. And we're good to go. Yeah, that was a little sloppy. I was trying to see if, I think it was Meanie, the ice one, was attacking somebody up in the gangway here. And I didn't notice that Eenie was getting pounded. I really like that whip. I've been very happy with this, not only Mastermind, but I like the 2 power sets that I chose. I like the demon summoning, and I'm enjoying the pain so far, the pain management. Of course, all we're doing with the pain is just healing, so it'll remain to be seen how the other powers work. So is Meanie healing himself? Unless maybe Mo is healing him? I'm not sure. One of them did a heal. It looked like. Alright, we gotta watch out for that Aberrant Rector. Because he does do mezzes. Nice, and we got a clue. A list of drop-off points for the canisters of Outbreak. It looks like there's one of the lab. There's the lab. It looks like that. Okay. Let's see, so there's a bad guy over here, looks like. Oh, the lab's upstairs. Right, you guys are going to stay here. So that should give us the outbreak. There we go. There's somebody else around. Oh, there's a guy over there. Well, I may as well kill him. Go get him, guys. Oh, and he's got a little buddy. Kill him too. It's just so awesome to be able to just give the order and they just like pound. That is so cool. Alright, and that's the end of the red triangles, so that must be everybody. So we're going to head out and we'll go back to the radio and see what it tells us. We're now about a beat and a half from the next level. One thing you do have to watch out for when you're a mastermind, if you've dismissed your pets and you're by yourself, right? If you happen to aggro something dangerous, you can get yourself really pounded before you can summon your pets. Right, and especially like this, if you're in the air, there really isn't anywhere to summon them. If I suddenly get attacked by Sky Raiders or something, I could get absolutely pounded, right? All I can do is heal myself and crack the whip a little bit, and none of those powers are very well enhanced. And even if they were, it's not enough to really protect you against a real attack by some, yellow and orange nasties. Right, your character is weak, significantly weaker without the pets than it would be than any other character in the game. You've got to have your pets out to be powerful. Alright, so now we are going to head to Paragon City and drop off the canisters of Outbreak and try to make our money. So this should be an outdoor mission. It looks like it is. Looks like Longbow knows about it, so there's 4 drop-off points. So now the question is, should I just go looking for him? Let's try. But we can't go too low. If we start getting shot at, we're gonna get into trouble. So let's see how big this zone is. You know, I like to do that. Much easier to do this with flight than any other power in the game, because you can just hover and stay above things. So I don't know what we're looking for in terms of the drop-off points. I assume they're glowies, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's just going to be a little bit of looking around till we find one. And then once we have one, we'll know what we're looking for and we can look for the others more quickly. There is one. Okay, so now we know what we're looking for. One thing that definitely helps is having some stealth. Alright, let's pull out our buddies. I just love that hole that erupts in the ground. That is just so awesome. And it stays there for a little while. That's so cool. Alright, we found our first clue. These guys are gonna be cut through like my demons are a hot knife through butter. Look at that. Super easy. We have 1 bead left to go, guys. Alright, so let's dismiss these guys and go looking for the next one. Our Demonling power has already recharged. Whoops, we don't need that, we need this. And let's see if we can find the next box. So the stealth is not invisibility, but it does help you avoid aggroing. Like at this height, we might aggro this guy, right? But because we have stealth, if we just go quickly, he doesn't notice us. Man, look at the size of this zone. And so it's, you know, the demonlings make it pretty easy to run rampant, but it's still way too large of a zone to want to fight every single enemy in here. So there's our second one. I have to find 2 more. Right now I'm not really looking for things. I'm mostly just trying to find out how big the map is. Okay, so there's the size of the map. So now we're going to look around and see if we can find at least one more glowy, because once we do that, the other one should get marked on the map as a little white asterisk, and then we will have been able to find them all. Oftentimes they're in between buildings. And as I mentioned, I think it was in Tiger Strike's playthrough, you can't go up too high because the level of detail starts to, what happens is it starts fading things out, right? So if I stay up too high, I won't see the glowy. There's one, and then we should get a marker for the next one. No, it didn't mark it. Well, that's a little frustrating. But there's only one more to get, so we'll keep looking. And there it is. And we have dropped off the canisters, guys. So now let's see. It's 33 XP for each one. 462. We could take out like 10 guys and level up. Should we do that? I think we should do that. Let's get rid of our wings. Pull out the demons. I just love the holes in the ground. I think the larger demons looks cooler. It looks more three-dimensional or something to me. It's just awesome. This is a great Mastermind power set. I absolutely love it. There's a lieutenant. And now we're being ambushed, it looks like. That's fine. Another lieutenant. Look at that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we got a bunch of dual origins, so you can see now, I'll show you in a sec, the ratio at level 12, right? If you take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about half and half DOs and SOs at this level. And what's going to eventually happen is, DOs and trainers. And what's eventually going to happen is the training enhancements will eventually drop out of the loot table, and we won't get them anymore. And we've leveled up, guys. We're level 13. Okay, let's dismiss these guys and head on out, and we will go level up to level 13. This is awesome. This character is just kicking butt now with this extra demon. And hopefully you're seeing just how powerful a mastermind can be as a character. They are, as I said in the last episode, one of the most powerful archetypes in the game, especially for soloing. In fact, I recall distinctly somebody saying when I was talking about kind of the struggles I was having in Pretoria, and they said, "Oh, you want to do that with like a mastermind because they made it harder, but masterminds can do just fine, right?" Um, so it's sort of, I guess, common knowledge that masterminds are one of the more powerful archetypes for soloing. Now, whether they're good for PvP, who the heck knows? My guess is probably not, because any smart player is going to ignore the pets and just pound your mastermind, and the mastermind is defenseless, right? It really doesn't have much defenses. So if a stalker just, while in hide, targets you and assassin strikes you, you die, and your pets disappear, right? They're not going to hang around to avenge you. When you die, your pets die, right? So, anyway, we don't need any of this, so we're just going to sell it all. And then we are going to find the trainer. It's right there. And we will train up to 13th level. And let's finish stamina. And that is done. And then, so I guess next level, I don't know if we're going to get maybe enforced morale, I think. Might be good. That will help them resist Mez. So then when you see something like an aberrant rector, you slap that on them. And I don't know how long it lasts, but it will help them help them avoid being stunned and disoriented. It's been pretty quick, so let's try one more. Let's go to the radio. I will pause it here, and when we get to the radio, I'll bring you back, and we'll see if we can do another mission for the radio. Alright, we're back. And the radio is playing pop hits from the last decade. When you get back, you're about to walk away and chalk the whole thing up to an arachno psychological experiment when music is interrupted. The event announcer says, "And a big hello to all the villains and villettes out there in the Rogue Isles. In case you hadn't heard the news, the outbreak of Outbreak continues in Paragon City thanks to Port Oak's own Nightmare Lass, who just scored big by listening to Radio Free Opportunity. Nightmare Lass, keep listening and paying attention for more hot hits and hot tips. Remember, if you have the will to power, Radio Free Opportunity is here to provide the juice. And don't forget that Radio Free Opportunity can now be heard on the internet and even over your cell phone. We're everywhere. The voice of Radio Free Opportunity cuts out, and the radio begins to play another retro hit from yesteryear. So available missions, and I think we now can, we can call it now, so we don't have to come back. It says, you've been listening to the radio for a few minutes, waiting to hear the voice of Radio Free Opportunity's announcer. Just as you're about to turn it off in frustration, the familiar Radio Free Opportunity DJ breaks through in the middle of a pop song in a crash of static. If you've got too much crime on your mind and too much power in your hands, then we're the radio station that's got info you need to do your worst deeds. It's Radio Free Opportunity, coming at you live from our top secret location to all in the Rogue Isles. Now we have a long play extended cut today for all the best of the worst to groove on. It's like a top 40 of the best of the worst. So if you've got the time and you have the inclination, then be a caller and join us today on the hit list with the special guest stars Wyvern, The Legacy Chain, and Arachnos. It's going to be a star-studded wrongdoing for whoever decides to make it their business. And my beloved listeners, whoever gets their hands on that hit list is going to find that business very good indeed. So I'm going to make Wyvern's hit list my business. And it says, now those vigilante villain hunters called Wyvern produce a yearly list of the biggest threats among the up-and-coming bad guys in the Rogue Isles. This list is worth a lot of money, both to know who they plan to target and for the bragging rights of being on top. All the real villains out there are probably already wondering how they can get their hands on the list, right? And you are all real villains, ain't ya? Well, those Wyvern types are real tight-lipped and won't tell you where they're compiling it if you ask. The only people they do tell are their sometime partners in crime prevention, the Legacy Chain, because they want their input on who to keep an eye on and who's really just small change. So, evildoers of the Isles, if you want the list, the first step would be to take out the Wyvern rep meeting with the Legacy Chain and beat where to find it out of him. And remember, you heard about it here on Radio Free Opportunity. And the voice goes silent. I love the radio. It's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to head to Capo Diablo, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, we're back. Before we do anything else, I want to go ahead and monitor some combat attributes. So you do this by clicking powers, clicking combat attributes, and then you can look at whatever it is that you want to look at. So for example, if you want to know what your smashing resistance is, you can monitor it. You don't need to monitor both smashing and lethal because they're almost always identical. Same thing with fire and cold. Same thing with energy and negative, and psionic and toxic. Usually they go hand in hand, so if you want to see what your resistance is, you can check it. If you want to look at your defenses, you can do that as well. I don't think anything's going to buff our defense, so I'm not going to monitor that. Let's see, status protection. Let's just take a look at that. And because we might want to know that, and then we probably want to look at our two hit bonus 80%. Let's look at two hit and accuracy. We might want to check those. And then isn't there a recharge rate? Recharge time. Okay, so this way, if we're getting debuffed or whatever, we can see it. So I usually like to keep those up. That's not part of the original game, of course. That was added much later. I'm not sure what issue, but it was like a couple years into the game. Originally, they kept all of the numbers hidden from us. They didn't actually like the idea of the players knowing numbers. Like, they didn't tell you that single origin was a 33% buff and dual origin was 17%. They just said single origin's better than dual origin's better than training. Maybe they said twice as good, but they didn't give you the actual numbers because they didn't want you to min-max, right? They wanted you to just play. But players figured out the numbers, and eventually the developers exposed the numbers to us. Alright, so now we need to beat the information out of the Wyvern rep. And there is Legacy Chain. Smack 'em. Alright, and then the last guy. I don't know why he didn't aggro to me. He should have. Alright. So there's an elevator there, which means Wyvern Rep is probably on the next floor, but we can go ahead and fight the people on this floor. So one way you can tell that I'm really enjoying this is I'm like going out of my way to get into more fights, right? Rather than just, let's go to the end. Oh, that's not good. We ended up, I screwed this up. I over-aggroed. Focus fire, guys. There we go. Not too bad. We survived it. Where'd my mouse go? There we go. Jeez. Alright. Now we're doing 39 heal per AoE heal. Now that's because we leveled up one. So you get more heals by leveling up, but the enhancements aren't going to be as good because we are now, they're only +2 to us instead of +3. That's a dead end. Okay. So we can go back to the elevator. Here come our buddies. Follow me down, guys. So as I've mentioned in the both the Scrapper and the Stalker videos, but I will mention it here in case this is the only one you're watching. Offices like this can have up to 5 levels. This is the 2nd level, but it can go up to 5 levels, and that's just just for whatever reason, it's something about the engine that's the most that they could do. You can see them just kicking butt, my followers. There's another guy in here, isn't there? No? I would have thought there would be a white con in here, but I guess not. Alright, that doesn't look like it's going anywhere, so we'll go back this way. I definitely need to enhance Swift for this character. I don't like leaving Sprint on ordinarily. It's just a toggle you don't really need. If I have to go quickly, I can just fly. Nice. Got an enhancement. That's another dual origin. Anybody upstairs? Doesn't look like it. So my guess is there's going to be an elevator down here. Yep. We're now on level 3 out of potentially 5. I hope it's not 5, mostly because this episode's getting kind of long and I don't want it to take forever. On the other hand, I gotta tell you guys, I am having an absolute blast with this character. Super fun. Got some invention salvage. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the big guy is able to heal. That is nice. Mo, I think, just healed Meanie. So that is super nice. I mean, I'll do most of the healing, I'm sure, but it's nice to have him as an extra. And by the way, you can see from this that his little flame shield is giving me smashing, probably lethal as well, fire and cold, and some toxic resistance. So that tells us what the buff is doing, which is quite nice. 4th level. Get him. I really love that AoE heal. That's awesome. I don't know if I've ever had one. I mean, my characters have had their own single target heal, but I don't know if I've ever played a character to any great level, you know, to any high level range, you know, above level 15 or 20 that had its own AoE heal. Oh man, look at all the enhancements we're finding. 3/4 of them have been dual origins now. There's Lieutenant. Oh. So these guys somehow aggroed somebody. I don't know where those guys came from. There were some upstairs. They might have seen us. might have been the guys that were up on the balcony here. Nope, wasn't them. Maybe there was another group of guys here that I didn't notice. So I don't know where the Wyvern rep is here. Let's see. We'll get these guys. I guess we gotta go to another floor. Let's see. There's nothing over there. Ah, this looks like it's... Yep, this continues this way, and we do have... This is going to be a 5-floor mission. This is it. He will be on this level because they don't do more than 5 floors. That was a hard, fast rule in live, and so far, both on Homecoming and Rebirth, and all the missions for 50 levels for 2 different characters that I've seen, I have never seen it go over 5 levels. I mean, seriously, can you imagine what it would be like to just see this giant demon lumbering down the hall? It would just be so awesome. Very, very cool. I'm so enjoying the Mastermind. I guess we gotta go down one of the other hallways. You guys should be able to come this way, right? Yeah. Okay, so where is the Wyvern guy? Maybe he's upstairs? So one limiting factor is, even though I have flight, it's not easily usable in the mission because my minions can't fly. Right, and so if I just flew up here, they would have a hard time figuring out how to get up here. I do not know where this guy is. Oh, there's still a lot more to this map, it looks like. Okay, so there's nothing here. So we need to go down. Are these guys coming? They are. And we need to go this way. This looks like a dead end too. I don't know where the heck this guy is. Yep, that's a dead end. And he just got healed again. Cool. Alright, we gotta go north, I guess. Of course, it's gonna be in the last place I look. You know that, right? place is. Yeah, this looks like the ending area. And there's the Wyvern representative. So we will get rid of the minion and then take out the representative. And that's the mission, guys. And we found a clue. So I gave the representative a thorough going over, but he never talked. Turns out he didn't need to. I found some papers on him that told me all I needed to know. Transfers, orders, escape routes, put it together. And it points to where this guy was operating from. If you didn't know he was involved with the hit list, it wouldn't mean anything, but you do, so it does. Alright. Well, guys, I think we're going to stop here. We will pick up with this story arc next time. Until then, I am Scrapperlock. And this has been City of Villains with our Mastermind.